So we're roaming through Sussex with the wide rolling hills with Roman leftovers. That's a nice view on one of the aqueducts of the Romans. So we basically have again our works of giants, so the works of the Romans left behind. But for now, we ignore them. And I want to go in that direction, I guess. I hope I remember that correctly. So at least let's get an overview over the country. Okay. That was a tad too close. Yeah, sure. Let's get up there. So this, in terms of the architecture, shows traces of being built by the Romans. Typical wall style. We have the stones as the frame, and then the middle is filled with rubble and smaller stones. And in a way, the predecessor of cement. So that is typical way for the Romans to build walls. And this is also why they lasted centuries. So let's have a look around. We see Roman bridges, aqueducts, and very slow birds that fly on the spot. So,
I need your eyes, my friend.
is there something in this? No, let's jump down. What could go wrong? Ooh. There we go. Yeah, we just go back to this, I guess. Yes. Ah, there. We need something to detonate that wall. So, and back we go. Do I already have? No. Theoretically. No, let's go the long way. Wasting a bit of your time. And standing here, again, I think I've said that 100 times, but keeping in mind that the Anglo-Saxons and also the Danes, the Norwegians, so basically all of the Germanic tribes, only used wood for construction. And then you had these ruins, these large stone ruins, so this explains why poems as The Ruin or also Beowulf talk about the work of giants, the entire work. Because if you have no idea how to move these stones to create these huge arcs of stone, then the only logical explanation is it must have been giants, and the Germanic tribes lacked the technology to build these. So let's not jump into the water. Well. And there, and... well, let's throw it. That did the trick. Yep. That one has rested for a bit long. Oh, here we have a letter. Letter smelling of salty, dried tears. That sounds optimistic. Dear Bishop of Canterbury, I sent you this letter for you must be closer to God than King Alfred who has sent dogs to chase me. So yeah, we did have at the time already Anglo-Saxon bishops of Canterbury. There was a time when the Romans had stopped sending their archbishops. Canterbury, the bishop, was Anglo-Saxon. I've been accused of theft and compromising the Saxon country I love. If you're born different, the world conspires against you to keep you. Please pray for me. But God made me in his image. Jagged forms have a beauty we as mortals are only beginning to understand. They are shattered melodies meant for the mouths of angels. I was hungry and did what I must to share in the earth's bounty as sheep. Now I find myself in a tiny brick castle cage for him to welcome me to heaven. Amen to this cruel world. The distinguished Beowulf. That sounds a bit like somebody living in a cave that you could only dive to. And what was it? Born different. That sounds a bit like Grendel from Beowulf. I mean, this Grendel here is obviously dead, but what we see is that's not a human skull. It's kind of deformed. It's an animal skull. And when we read Beowulf and the story about Grendel, of course, it's set in Denmark, not in Anglo-Saxon England, because the national epic of the Anglo-Saxons was brought to them by the Vikings. So in terms of the place, nowhere close to this place here. But having this deformed being that lives in a cave below ground and that is haunted by everybody, that is some kind of human abomination. That's basically Grendel and Beowulf writing a diary and complaining about being who he is. It sounds really awful, but this is an allusion to Grendel that we have in the Epic of Beowulf.